I'm interested. You say that you followed Lewis closely even before you played against him. So is that part of the process that you will be watching players that are of interest to Liverpool, that are of interest in the positions that you want, and you sort of keep up to date, even sort of on that basis, like very closely watching players?
So we cannot not watch all interesting, like closely, me or the coaches, our scouts are doing that. That's what we have the department for. And very often we just get a hint that we should have a closer look on him or him. And we do that, and doesn't mean he's playing for us in the next transfer window or whatever. But with Porto, it's obviously different because Pep and Vitor, I'm not sure if Vitor watched probably all Porto games and Pep a lot. And they were really early and told me that that's a very interesting boy there, and we should have a closer look. And since then, we are watching. It's part of the process, of course, watching, but we cannot watch the whole world constantly. But the club is pretty busy with that. If there's a good player out there, we know him, and then we still have to make or a real talent out there. We know him, and then we just have to make decisions if it's interesting for us or not. Do we have someone in a position or not? Is somebody coming up on that position? So do we have a young follower on different positions? These kind of things, and that's the whole process.
Thanks, Dave. We'll go to Paul
Can
Joyce.
I ask a question, Dave? What's the name of the journalist in Ted Lasso?
No, he's not going to know the answer to that. Yeah, I think saying
I
the
have
haircut,
no
Dave.
idea.
But at least he knows why I ask it.
Yes, the haircut is tremendous. Yes,
Wow.
Congratulations, Dave. As someone who would love to have that much hair, congratulations. Right, okay, we go to Paul Joyce.
Jürgen, how would you want Sadio or Mo or Bobby or Jota to react to the incoming signing of LUIS DIAZ? Are we seeing the sort of long-term future of Liverpool here with this signing, and those players? You know, there's 3 players with 18 months left on the contract. Is it a challenge to them in some way?
Did you forget Bobby Firmino?
No,
he
no,
didn't.
no.
He said it.
No,
Okay,
said
sorry,
it.
then I couldn't hear it then. I didn't hear it. So, how sports people react. So it's first and foremost, nothing happened apart from we brought a really good player in. So now we really have to work with Lewis, with all the others, of course, as well, but with Lewis as well. So then we have to see. It's really nice to have these kind of options. So, and how I said, we constantly prepare today and then for tomorrow as well. And that's what we do. It's what our job has to be. And so how the boys, or the reaction of players is always they have to perform on the highest level. That has always to be the case. Our players, even when we had injuries and stuff like this, and we had only 3 up front available, they push themselves to an extreme extent, absolutely all the time. That's why we were pretty successful in the last few years. But we cannot hope that we can get through this with 3 or 4 players or stuff like this. So we need options, and we need how all development is not only, but includes always fresh blood as well. And that's what we did with Diogo when he came here, and it was obviously pretty helpful. And now when we signed Lewis, it's exactly the same. Players might have plans for their future, but the club has to be ready for pretty much all scenarios. And that's what we do between playing games all the time, thinking about these kind of things. And this club is too big as it would rely on single persons, if it's me or if it's a player or here or there. So we need to be prepared, and the club needs to be prepared for all different scenarios. And we feel in a good place in the moment.
Fantastic. Thanks, Paul. And finally, from this section, Dom King, before we go to the Sundays, and apologies to the Sundays I didn't get to the hands of, but we've got the guys in who we can now take. Dom.
Yeah, just a simple one, really. I know he's not in the building yet, but will you consider Lewis to be in the squad on Sunday, or would it be far too soon just for him to be involved in the match day? Or
far too soon, I don't know. If he would have been here yesterday and could have trained a little bit, I would have considered it definitely. So now I don't know. give me a second to meet him and ask him how his last 2-3 days were, because it's not, easy. Now it's not easy to sit around in Paris and waiting for the papers and stuff like this. It's not the best time of your life. Doesn't help you with recovery from an intense period he had as well with 2 games for Colombia. So massive travel, all these kind of things. So yeah, let's have a look. I wouldn't say no, because I would be excited as well. Giving a few minutes in a sold-out Anfield Road is nice, but let's see.